Good morning and a very warm welcome. You are watching Janata Television and this is English Bulletin. With me, it's Bhadrai. The top stories first. Death toll from coronavirus reaches 401. Total number of infection above 62,000. Government marks 6th Constitution Day. Formal program organized amidst coronavirus pandemic. World Bank approves $200 million to Nepal. The credit will be utilized to strengthen a financial sector hit by coronavirus. India arrests 9 Al-Qaeda militants planning terrorist attacks. Indian Army charges soldiers in suspected killings. And Manchester United suffer humiliating defeat in Premier League opener. Chelsea to host defending champion Liverpool today. And now the news in detail. Death toll from coronavirus in Nepal has crossed 400 with the confirmation of 11 new deaths yesterday. According to the Health Ministry, 7 women and 4 men have become the latest victim of the disease, taking the tally to 401. Most of the victims were elderly people except a 37-year-old woman from Makwanpur and a 45-year-old man from Bake. Other victims were from Morang, Rautahat, Sarlahi, Lalitpur, Kathmandu and Rupadehi. The ministry confirmed 1,204 new cases of coronavirus during the latest round of tests. Among them, 570 cases were reported in Kathmandu, followed by 83 in Bhaktapur and 58 in Lalitpur. The total number of infection in Nepal has reached 62,797. The number of active cases in the country stands at 17,129, while 45,267 persons have recovered from the disease. The country yesterday marked the 6th year since the promulgation of the new Constitution of Nepal. The Constitution of Nepal, promulgated on 20th September 2015, has been recognized as a constitution drafted by the people's representatives. The government organized a formal program in Todikhel to observe the day yesterday despite COVID-19 pandemic. Addressing the program organized at the Army Pavilion, Todikhel, Prime Minister KP Sharma Oli expressed high regard for the experts and everyone who played a fundamental role in securing the nation's constitution. Stating that more than 61,000 people have been infected by coronavirus in the country, Prime Minister Oli urged the general public not to panic as more than 43,000 infected have already recovered after treatment. Prime Minister Oli, however, requested everyone to follow social distancing rules along with necessary health protocols to contain the infections. Prime Minister Oli further reaffirmed that COVID-19 crisis has been an opportunity and not only a challenge for his government. He listed 33 government and 14 private PCR test laboratories set up across the country in support of his earlier statement. Nepal has made some progress on 14 different indicators that marks a nation's progress, Prime Minister Oli said. However, the global pandemic has taken a massive toll on Nepal's economy, Prime Minister Oli added. Meanwhile, Janata Samajwadi Party Nepal observed the Constitution Day as a black day and staged protests in different parts of the country. The party organized protest programs in headquarters of West Parasi, criticizing the current government. The leaders of the party put forward amendment of constitution and release of suspended MP Resam Chowdhury as their prime demand. The party condemned the constitution as it failed to secure the rights of Madhesi, indigenous, Dalit and Tharu community. The party informed that amendment of the constitution is necessary for every community's inclusion. This is Janata Bulletin. We'll be right back after a short break. Welcome back after the break. We continue with other national news. People from various walks of life have continued the demonstration for the reappointment of Kulman Ghising as the CEO of Nepal Electricity Authority. Kissing, a household name in the country for his initiative to get rid of power cuts, had retired from his post recently after completing his 4-year tenure. However, the public has been pressurizing the government to reappoint him again. Besides ending load shedding, Kissing is also credited for transforming the cash-strapped NEA into a profit-earning organization. Meanwhile, Kissing has urged the people not to hold protest for his reappointment. Issuing a statement yesterday, Kissing said that the government reserves the right to appoint the CEO of the Electricity Authority. He also urged the protesters not to continue protest considering the risk of infection of coronavirus. And now, the news from Economic Front. The World Bank recently approved a $200 million of Finance for Growth credit for Nepal's COVID-19 resilience and recovery efforts. The development policy credit will be utilized to strengthen financial sector stability, diversify financial solutions, and increase access to financial services in Nepal. World Bank Country Director for the Maldives, Nepal and Sri Lanka, Faris Haddad Zaveros, said that protecting people's lives is the priority in the era of COVID-19, but giving a boost to economic recovery is equally urgent. This project and World Bank support will pave the way for the financial sector and capital and insurance markets to strengthen resilience and more effectively contribute to Nepal's COVID-19 recovery, he added. The World Bank's support will also help build capital, insurance, venture capital and private equity and disaster risk financing markets through regulatory reforms, reads a statement issued by the World Bank. This will help open new investment opportunities for market actors and crowd in private financing. The other critical area of focus is to expand access to finance for households, women and firms through regulatory and other reforms, added the statement. We'll be taking a short break here at Janata Bulletin. Stay tuned for international and sports news. Welcome back, and now the international news. India's National Investigation Agency NIA said on Saturday it has arrested 9 Al-Qaeda militants who were planning attacks in several locations, including the capital, New Delhi. The group was planning to undertake terrorist attacks at vital installations in India with an aim to kill innocent people and strike terror in their minds, said the country's main counter-terrorism arm in a statement. According to Reuters, those arrested were motivated to undertake attacks at multiple places, including the capital region. 6 of the militants were arrested in the eastern state of West Bengal, and while 3 in the southern state of Kerala, the NIA said. The agency added that the individuals were associated with Pakistan-sponsored models of Al-Qaeda. Meanwhile, the Indian Army launched a disciplinary proceeding against an unspecified number of soldiers following an inquiry into the killing of 3 suspected militants in the northern state of Kashmir. A defense spokesman said evidence showed the soldiers had exceeded their powers under the Armed Forces Special Powers Act, which grants the Army Board authority, including shoot-to-kill powers. The families of the slain men said security forces had killed them in cold blood. The Army said it was still investigating the dead men's ties to militant groups. The chief of Iran's Parliamentary Revolutionary Guard yesterday threatened to go after everyone who had a role in top general's January killing during a U.S. drone strike in Iraq. According to the Associated Press, the Guard's website quoted General Hossein Salami as saying, "Mr. Trump, our revenge for martyrdom of our great general is obvious, serious and real." US President Donald Trump warned last week that Washington would harshly respond to any Iranian attempts to take revenge for the death of General Qasem Soleimani. He had tweeted that if they hit us in any way, any form, written instructions already done, we're going to hit them 1,000 times harder. The president's warning came in response to a report that Iran was plotting to assassinate the US ambassador to South Africa in retaliation for Soleimani's killing at Baghdad's airport at the beginning of the year. Salami rejected the report of an Iranian plot to assassinate Ambassador Lana Marks, but made clear that Iran intends to avenge the general's death. In January, Iran launched a ballistic missile attack targeting US soldiers in Iraq in response to the fatal drone strike. You are watching Janata Bulletin, and now the latest from the world of sports. Manchester United suffered a humiliating defeat against Crystal Palace in the first match of the Premier League season. Wilfried Zaha contributed against his former club's miserable start as he scored twice, denying United an opening win at Old Trafford. Andrew Stanson scored early in the 7th minute to give Palace the required lead, after which the host struggled badly for the entire game. The game, however, slipped away from them after Zaha's controversial 74th minute penalty, BBC reported. The only consolation goal for the Red Devils came on the 80th minute from their debut signing Donny van de Beek, but Zaha's superb finish at the 85th minute ensured a second successive victory for the Palace at Old Trafford. Similarly, Arsenal defeated West Ham 2-1. Leeds United also managed to secure a 4-3 victory against Leeds United, and Everton continued its winning streak as it defeated West Brom by a stunning margin of 5-2. Today, Chelsea will host a defending champion Liverpool at Stamford Bridge. MS Dhoni-led Chennai Super Kings have won the first match of the IPL 2020. Chennai have defeated defending champions Mumbai Indians by 5 wickets in the IPL opener at Azayat Stadium in Abu Dhabi yesterday. Ambali Rayudu 72 and Faf du Plessis 58 contributed precious innings for the Super Kings. Indian media reported that Dhoni was featuring in the match for the first time in 14 months. We are at the end of Janata Bulletin, and the headlines once again. Death toll from coronavirus reaches 401. Total number of infection above 62,000. Government marks 6th Constitution Day. Formal program organized amidst coronavirus pandemic. World Bank approves $200 million to Nepal. The credit will be utilized to strengthen financial sector hit by coronavirus. India arrests 9 Al-Qaeda militants planning terrorist attacks. Indian Army charges soldiers in suspected killings. And Manchester United suffer humiliating defeat in Premier League opener. Chelsea to host defending champions Liverpool today. And that's all from the English News Desk for today. You can follow Janata Television and our programs on various social media platforms, including on our website at janatasamachar.com. Keep watching Janata Television. Namaste.